is one of the most phenomenal groups in contemporary jazz music. They've been around for a long time. They still look kind of young though. But these guys right here, I mean, how many albums is it, James, that you got? 20. 20. Wow. 20 albums, man. Give it up for these guys. Peace, Live, and Dream. 20 albums, and they're still doing it strong. Still doing it strong. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, put your hands together for Pieces of a Dream.
players around the world, bass players all over the place. I got a bass player with me right now. We hanging out at the Music Hall, downtown Detroit. And this is an excellent bass player. Tell us your name, sir.
Mr. David Dyson, that will be me. Thank you for your kind words, sir. As he goes to close the door, just so you know, the little law here, all right?
Mr. David Dyson.
Right.
How you doing? Welcome to Detroit, bro.
Can't complain. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
I had the pleasure of meeting you back in 2009 and took one of your classes at the Gerald Veasley Bass Boot Camp, man. You remember me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyway, man. Who you here with today in Detroit?
Pieces of a Dream.
You know, I have to ask you that because you played with so many different people, man. It's like...
I'm thankful. I've definitely been blessed to be able to play with a lot of different artists. I played with, like, Mace's on here today too. I played with her. I'm trying to think who else is on here that I played with. But anyway, yeah, I've been blessed to play with a lot of artists. I like that. I mean, I like playing with different artists. You get various vibes. It's just like, keeps things interesting all the time too, you know.
Right. Well, man, I got a couple of questions I want to ask you. Now, I ain't want to keep you because I know this is right before the show and everything.
It's all good.
When did you start playing the bass and why?
Those are both pretty easy. I started playing bass at age 12. Even though I had an interest in bass, before I played bass, I was I was mimicking bass players, from since I can remember, because I was always in the, Sly Stone and Bootsy Collins and all. I was in, but the first, I guess I was 12 years old when I got my first bass guitar from my parents for Christmas, and I was playing on like badminton rackets and a bat that I had a belt tied to, and I was standing in front of the vacuum cleaner, acting like I was playing. And I was doing that, mimicking bass players so much that by the time my parents got me a real bass, it didn't even feel right. I had to get used to it. But anyway, so I started playing at 12.
Why the bass?
And why the bass? I don't know. I was just drawn to the bass. I was just drawn to the bass. I always loved the bass and I always loved the drums, but bass most.
And you can't think of a specific trigger?
Yep. Oh, definitely. I can. Louis Johnson, because I was listening to Larry Graham and all them, and I loved all them. But if for some reason it was Louis Johnson, that first record with Brothers Johnson, "Look Out for Number One." Mm-hmm. I used to stare at that cover and just look, and that was also the turning point where it was a turning point for not only me, definitely, okay, I gotta play bass now, but also me realizing the difference between 6-string guitar and the 4-string guitar, a bass guitar and an electric guitar, a standard. I was like, okay, yeah, it's 4 strings. At the time, that was the standard, as opposed to the electric guitar, which was 6 strings. And I noticed the strings were thicker than a regular standard guitar. So I was like, oh shoot, okay, that's different. That makes sense. Lower, thicker the string, lower the frequency, but. And also the way Louis played that bass, I mean, he has his thing, man. And so that was the trigger for me to play bass. I was like, that's it.
But Louis Johnson is one of my favorite bass players. I'm definitely old school. I don't care who come out.
Right.
I'm stuck on my people.
Me too.
Larry Graham, Louis Johnson, Jaco Pastorius, and Stanley Clarke, and then Marcus, and then Victor. I throw that in there because he's a bad dude.
No doubt.
But you know what I'm saying? So who's some of your favorites?
Same thing. Before I was playing bass, I was listening to, I can't remember the name of the bass player with Sly Stone other than Larry Graham. Okay. Real funky cat. His name escapes me right now, but just as funky as Larry. And Louis Johnson, of course. Stanley, of course. I was listening, I love some of Marcus's old stuff too. I was listening to, didn't even know it was him. And then it wasn't until Jocko died that I was listening to his stuff, but it wasn't until Jocko died that I really got in and delved into it. Because everybody was listening to Jocko, and I was more of a Stanley man at the time. And then when he died, then I checked out his story, and it saddened me, you know. And I started studying his vibe, his thing, and you know, there are a lot of old school cats. Anthony Jackson, been checking him out. Yeah, definitely, I'm an old school, you know, bass player love. And then, of course, I appreciate it. Okay, I appreciate, no doubt, Victor and all the cats. You know, it took it to a new level. And Marcus is continually growing too. Everybody, you know, everybody's continually growing. But you know, of course, Marcus's second album, Sun Don't Lie, that one, like woo, you know, set a whole new vibe for bass players too. So. I appreciate a lot of new cats and stuff they're doing too, but yeah, I'm a groove cat. I love to, even when I'm soloing, I like to keep it in the groove, you know.
Right, yeah. And that's not disrespect to anybody because it's so many.
I appreciate everyone.
There's so many of them. But let me ask you this.
Victor Bailey too, that's my boy.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, every time you think of it, it's like, oh, I gotta.
Yeah. It's tons of cats here. Oh, wait a minute. How could I forget? My main man, Ronnie Skeet Curtis. Woo! That is my man. With a P-Funk. Oh, yeah. I love, that's my big brother right there. And Wiz from Mother's Finest.
See how
yeah.
Going all day?
I would have been pissed at myself if I had forgotten them totally. Those are my man. Those are my boys right there. So.
Okay, all wonderful bass players, including yourself. Let me ask you this: when did you start going? When did the pro gig start happening? How did you get into the professional as a professional bass player?
I was doing professional studio work, but as a teen, like around 14, 15, a lot of gospel stuff I was doing. When I first started doing professional work, was in the studio back home. It was a studio in Clinton, Maryland. I don't even know a lot of the artists I played for. It was like every weekend I was going in there. They were paying me like $50, and I was recording for them. I remember a couple names, Hazel Hancock and the Jackson family and some other people. I don't think not D Jackson, and they were coming in from out of town, and then they run the stuff down. I learned it and then record, and it was every weekend. So they were pretty much ganking me $50 every weekend, you know. But as a teenager like that, you know, 14, 15, you're like, oh man, it's great money. But then. And then I was gigging. I was doing some gigs with a band I put together with another guitar player and drummer. We were gigging around as a teenager, you know, doing our own material and doing stuff that we love, you know, Brothers Johnson and different stuff like that, stuff that was out. And then I was playing with a couple go-go bands. Then when I went off to college, then I started doing a lot of professional gigs up in Boston, and even wrote some for a TV show called Ready to Go. I was writing some music and with another keyboardist up there that I was doing a lot of work for, Rollins Ross. We were doing for a TV show in Boston, a children's TV show called Ready to Go. And I was doing I started doing a lot of gigs with him and a lot of gigs in Boston. And then I got called for. I was gigging with Walter Beasley too, and then and doing videos with him, and then I got called for New Kids on the Block audition.
Right.
And so I remember, it's funny because I did not feel like going to that audition. I got called, I just came from a gig and it was cold and slushy in Boston, and I was like, and you know, they told me to come down to Marie Star Studio, and I was like, all right. I took a cab down there, and the funny thing, he said, all right, well, run off Please Don't Go Girl. I didn't know what Please Don't Go Girl, but it was their hit at the time, New Kids on the Block. It's like, I looked over at one of the guys in the studio and said, what the heck is Please Don't Go Girl? He said, oh, that's the hit that's out now. I'm like, so I'm thinking I blew it, right? Mm-hmm. But he said, it's all good, run down. And he's old school, so, and he draws from old school stuff, Delphonics, you know, a lot of stuff like that. So he said, just play some Delphonics, OJ's type stuff. And, you know, I grew up on all that stuff, so I just started playing a lot of those lines and grooves. So he was like, okay, cool. And so he gave me a ride back in his Jag and back to my apartment, and he was like, listen, anyway, he was playing me promotions that he put $200,000 of his money into and said they were going to be the biggest thing since the Beatles. And I've seen us go from small clubs on the East Coast to around the world, stadiums and arenas and stadiums around the world. So and the rest is history. Okay. What kind of bass is that you got, man? This is my signature series by Scholl, SKJOLD. You can check them out at www.skjolddesign.com. And it's my low end phone, David Dyson Signature Series bass. It's been out for at least 6 years now. And I love it, man. It's only 9 volts, but it's got fat bottom, crisp highs, and then I even got I can almost get a fretless sound, mid-range sound, so it's great. It handles all I need and feels great. I just been beating this up so much. I got a new one coming soon, upgraded one, and another one I don't know if he's calling it a stage series. It has all the same guts, but without the bells and whistles. But its body's made of ash. The neck is maple. Is it the bird's eye maple? And then just like a myrtle top. But
Okay.
I love it though. It's got all the fat, lows and crisp highs.
These people be mad at me if I don't ask you what kind of strings you use.
I'm using Dunlop strings right now. I like the nickel wounded stainless steels right now. I really like those a lot.
Man, I wish I had more time to talk to you guys, because I'll be wanting to interrupt sometime, but let me ask you this, man. What's the day like? Like today we here at Music Hall preparing for your show with Pieces of a Dream. You guys tour, you play with other people. What's the typical day for a professional musician once you fly in?
Once you fly in, try to, if your hotel rooms are ready, if you get there, depending on what time you get there, or depending on how well the manager set it up so you can check in early. I just basically try to, usually I'm hungry, so I try to get something to eat, or may exercise, and just, chill out, just try to settle in before whatever time Soundcheck is. And by the time Soundcheck, it depends. You might be able to go back to the hotel and chill out and train, or you might just have to dress and stay at the gig.
Or they might supposed to come and get you and then...
Yeah, like today.
All right, so...
If you can get to the hotel, if you're not waiting at the airport for an hour and a half when they mess up the ride,
Okay, so let's just check out what literally happens at a sound check right quick.
Play the top. Play your other keyboard too. Gotcha.
I would like to find a person that invented taping drums and shoot them. Tape does not belong on drums.
What vocal?
One,
Yeah,
two,
a
one, two, one, two.
souvenir.
Check, check.
Just
Key
for
vocal,
you.
key vocal, key vocal. Here we go again. Here we go again.
There you
One,
go.
two. Hello, hello, hello.
Drums should breathe. Natural
Hello, hello, check. Hello.
tone.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There you go. Hello, hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check.
Drum.
Let's fatten it up a bit. 1, 2, 1, 2. Put a little bottom on it.
Okay.
I gotta get it. I need this program.
Sounds like there's a phase over there. It might be the wire. I didn't hear it when I was over there. Maybe it's like the interference. This movie is called Whiplash.
to try a little something real quick before we get out of here. Is everybody good?
What's in the future for David Dyson? Now, I know you have, how many solos? 3 solo albums?
3 solo albums out. One's Soulmates, that was my original one. It was on my label, Lohan Funk, which you can still download on my website, daviddysonbass.com, www.daviddysonbass.com. You can download all 3 albums. Soulmates, you can download the Soulmates, The Dawning. Soulmates was released nationwide, international, worldwide in 2000, but I put it out in 1999 originally. Then I got a deal in 2000 through Warner Brothers. And the second album I put out on my label, Lohan Funk, The Dawning, that was in 2004. I was on the road with Jonathan Butler at the time. And then the third record was released in 2008, Unleashed. And so I will put out the next one. I know it's been a long time coming, but I'll make sure the next one's scheduled to come out early next year, 2016.
Okay, and I ain't want to keep you, man, because I know you got to do this show.
Okay.
In fact, I hope the powers that be allow me to close this interview with a performance of Pieces of a Dream tonight. Hopefully that gets to happen. But if we wanted to follow, hang out with you, you know how social media is. You got a Facebook or Twitter and all that?
Yes, sir. I have Twitter. I don't even think I can get in on the Twitter thing because I have a Twitter profile and I linked it to the Facebook, and I haven't been on Twitter for years now, but everything I post on Facebook goes to Twitter. But I have 3 pages on Facebook: David Dyson, David Dyson's gig page, and David Dyson's extended page. Yeah. So I just like the format of the regular page better than what they call a fan page. I don't even like to call it that.
But they
just call it a gig page.
But they limit
your things on that. That's what I don't like. They limit the friends, that could be on there. So that's why that is. But I'm on Facebook, and I also have like I said, my website, and I also have a bass app out now. I plan to do another one. It's called David Dyson. No, Groove Bass Concepts with David Dyson, and you can get it on iTunes for your iPod Touch, your iPad, and your iPhone.
What does it do?
And you can also,
What does it do?
Oh, wait a minute, let me finish. You can also get it on Android devices too, in the Google Play. But what does it do? It basically it demonstrates a mute picking technique that I developed, and I tell about different things. I tell about the equipment I use, including my bass and stuff, and I talk about hand positions and arm positions. I talk about different techniques. I talk about different grooves and where to place placement and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of it. I mean, I'm not the best talker, so I'll fumble through some things, but talking wise, but I get my point across.
Okay, come on, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he gotta go. Well, Dave, I want to thank you, man.
Thank you, my honor.
For hanging out with us in Detroit on the Detroit Bass Players in the Basement.
My honor.
And I see you performing right now.
Yes, sir. God bless.
One.